Witam wszystkich in today's introduction to Declension. If you have studied some Polish already, you might have noticed that certain words change their form a little bit, depending on the role they play in a sentence. For those of you who are completely new to Polish, Declension is changing a word to express things such as gender, number, or case. This is something that many learners of Polish struggle with, so don't worry if you don't get it right away. In Polish, many things can be declined. Nouns, adjectives, numerals, some pronouns, and participle adjectives. It may seem scary, but no worries. Today, we are focusing purely on the declension of nouns, and to narrow it down even further, feminine nouns. As some of you might have already noticed, most of the time feminine nouns in Polish ends with a. There are some feminine nouns that end with consonants, but for the sake of simplicity, we will not be focusing on them today. As we can see, Polish language has 6 cases. The first of them is nominative. It is the most basic case of them all. If you learn any noun in Polish, you probably learn them in nominative. It is a doer of an action. So in a sentence, mom cooks, mom is in nominative case. As you can see, singular nouns in nominative always end with a. Kobieta, kobieta, babcia, babcia. But if you take a look at plurals, you can notice that there are 2 different ways to pluralize those nouns. Why? It's very simple. Kobieta has ty before a, and ty is a hard consonant. On the other hand, babcia has ki before a, so it's a soft consonant. With hard consonant, you pluralize it with y sound. Kobiety, kobiety. And with soft consonant, you pluralize it with e sound. Babcie, babcie. The next case is genitive. It shows possessions. So in woman's book, woman's is in genitive. Singular of genitive is simple. Change a to I or I. The rules for hard and soft consonants are the same as for nominative. Kobieta becomes kobiety, and babcia becomes babci. But the rules for plural forms are a little bit more complicated, because you don't add anything. Usually you just delete the ending, like in kobiet, kobiet. But sometimes you can even add different letters, like in babci, babci. It can be quite irregular, so if you are unsure, please use Wiktionary or any other available resource to check. The third case is dative. It refers to the indirect object of a sentence. So in a sentence, I gave flowers to a woman. Woman is in dative. Or I showed grandma my house. Grandma would be dative as well. In singular form, dative ends with e, like in kobiecie, kobiecie. Or with I sound, like in babci, babci. In plural form, there is no differentiating. It always ends with kobietom, kobietom, babciom, babciom. Going next to the accusative case. Accusative may seem a little bit similar to dative case. Accusative is a direct object of an action. If you have to someone in a sentence, it is probably dative, while accusative is like I chase her with her in accusative, or I like the women with women in accusative. Accusative always ends with ę in singular, so kobietę, kobietę, babcię, babcię, or it stays the same as nominative in plural, kobiety, kobiety, babcie, babcie. Instrumental case is not very popular in other languages, but it is quite easy to remember. It means that you are using something or someone to do something else. So, I travel by car, with by car as instrumental. I fix with hammer. If in translation you have by something or with something in such context as above, it's probably instrumental. Here we have a rocket. Nominative of rocket is rakieta, but in instrumental singular we change it to on, so rakietą. Rakietą. Plural of rakieta is rakiety. In instrumental case we change that I to ami, so rakietami. Rakietami. Wow, we are almost finished. Locative case refers to places. So, in something, by something, etc. It's often used when referring to cities. In singular, it is always the same as dative. So here we have w Warszawie, w Warszawie, w rzece, w rzece. But in plural form, we just add ach. Please pay attention to the spelling. C plus H. W Warszawach. W Warszawach. W rzekach. W rzekach. Last but not least, vocative. Vocative is used when you address someone directly, and it is also often used in poetry or classic literature. In plural form, it stays the same as nominative, so kobiety, kobiety, babcie, babcie. But in singular form, the a stem becomes o, like in kobieto, kobieto, or u in words like babcia, so babciu, babciu. Those were all the cases. Now let's practice a little bit. Listen and repeat after me, paying close attention to all the endings. Córka, córka, córki, córki, córce, córce, córkę, córkę, córką, córką, córce, córce, córko, córko, córki, córki, córek, córek, córkom, córkom, córki, córki, córkami, córkami, córkach, córkach, córki, córki. Agonia, agonia, agonii, 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 agonię, 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 agonii, agonii, agonio, agonio, agonie, agonie, agonii, agonii, agonią, agonią, agonie, agonie, agoniami, agoniami, agoniach, agoniach, agonie, agonie. Very good. Don't worry if you still struggle to remember all those endings. Learning is a process, and I'm sure you will eventually get it. Now, a task for you. In the comments, decline the words córka, córka, and lampa, lampa. If you struggle, remember you can use Wiktionary or any other resource available. This was all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Next time, we will be focusing on neuter nouns. So see you guys!